Good, happy Wednesday morning and happy hump day, everyone. I'm Riley King and welcome to the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, road reopened after overturned propane tanker righted on Route 3 in Tilton. Let's take a listen to the video.
Propane tanker is back on its tires hours after it rolled twice, landing in a ditch. Police say the driver was coming off of the exit ramp and hit the curb before it rolled. Route 3 had to be shut down several different times throughout the day.
Traffic couldn't get off at 93 on exit 20, nothing east and west between Laconia and Franklin.
The latest closure happening just around 5 p.m. during the evening rush. The tank was carrying more than 10,000 gallons of propane. The fire department worked with the Central New Hampshire hazmat team to calculate the potential blast area.
We had all those measurements and we could plot right on a map of what areas we need to evacuate to make sure everybody was safe.
The fire department recommended that we evacuate all the businesses in the area, basically everything from Tilton Diner down to Tanger Outlets. And we had to move all of the first responders out of this area as well.
Stores and restaurants losing about a full day of business. The tanker landed just feet from a telephone pole. Officials say this could have been much worse.
And if there were a leak in the tank, the sparks from the poles falling down could have caused a pretty significant incident, over more so than what we already had here.
Propane had to be offloaded into an empty truck while the tanker was still on its side. Once it was uprighted, crews were able to complete that job.
Just want to say thank you to all the first responders that were here tonight because it was a lot of work.
No other vehicles were involved. The driver was not injured. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. Reporting in Tilton, Siobhan Lopez, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Uber says 57 million users, around 600,000 drivers affected by 2016 breach. Let's take a listen to the video from National News Desk.
Taken heat for its past privacy overreaches like tracking riders after they get dropped off, tracking Lyft drivers, tracking and circumventing law enforcement, and tracking critical journalists. Uber in August rolled back its decision to require riders to always share their location data with the company. The company used to have several privacy policies, one for riders, one for U.S. drivers, and another for drivers outside the U.S., but starting today, Uber is combining them all into one new policy that's designed to be straightforward.
Okay, and there you go on that video. Park Service extends commute period for proposed free hike. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 in Maine.
Your testimony will save lives. Mr. Stevens, this is your new name. This is your new house and a perfectly inconspicuous SUV. You must become invisible.
I'll take my chances.
Okay, those are photos, a slideshow of the park itself. Looks beautiful. The National Park Service is giving people more time to weigh in on a proposed fee increase at 17 of its most popular parks. Visitors would be charged $70 per vehicle, up from the current $30 fee during the 5 busiest months of the year. At others, the hikes is from $25 to $70. The comment period had been scheduled to end Thursday. The new deadline is December 22nd. The Park Service said it wanted to accommodate interest from Congress and public. More than 65,000 comments already have been submitted. The park says it would raise $70 million annual under the proposal. The revenue would fund maintenance and infrastructure projects. So if you live in the Maine area, comment below and let us know what you think about this. Should they raise the price to get into the national park? Apple reveals driverless car system to detect pedestrian and cyclists in rare research paper. Apple computer scientists revealed a new method that selfless driving could use to detect pedestrians and cyclists in recently published research paper, giving a rare glimpse into U.S. technology giants' work in the field. In the paper from November 17th, published in online journal Erxava, Apple researchers Yin Zhou and Ola Zhou discussed the advancements they have made in being able to detect 3D objects. Trump defends Roy Moore, but calls it good for women. So many allegations coming out. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
Wake ready with the world's first performance sleep system by Bedgear.
Tonight, as the national conversation about sexual harassment grows louder, President Trump breaking 12 days of silence on Alabama Senate candidate Roy Moore. On the White House lawn, answering questions for the first time, defending the candidate who was accused of sexual misconduct with teenagers. The president saying Moore denies it all. And tonight it comes as veteran TV journalist Charlie Rose is fired, his co-host speaking out. We begin with ABC senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega.
On his way to Mar-a-Lago for Thanksgiving vacation, today President Trump broke his silence, finally answering questions about Roy Moore.
Mr. President, is an accused child molester better than a Democrat? Is an accused
well,
child
he denies it.
molester better
Look,
than
he
a
denies it. I mean, if you look at what is really going on and you look at all the things that have happened over the last 48 hours, he totally denies it. He says it didn't happen. And, you know, you have to listen to him also. You're talking about, he said 40 years ago this did not happen. So, you know.
The president coming to Moore's defense as the former Alabama judge faces accusations of sexual misconduct by 8 women, some of whom were teenagers at the time.
What is your message to women, sir, during this pivotal moment in our country where we were talking about sexual misconduct? You've had your own allegations against you. What do you say to women?
Let me just tell you. Roy Moore denies it. That's all I can say. He denies it. And by the way, he totally denies it.
And that message to women?
Women are very special. I think it's a very special time because a lot of things are coming out, and I think that's good for our society. And I think it's very, very good for women. And I'm very happy a lot of these things are coming out. And I'm very happy it's being exposed.
The president faces his own accusations of sexual misconduct. More than a dozen women came forward during the campaign, alleging everything from sexual assault to harassment and inappropriate behavior. He called all of them liars and promised to sue, but he never did. Today, the president sent a clear message. Electing an accused child molester would be better than electing a Democrat.
What do you think about it? I can tell you one thing for sure. We don't need a liberal person in there, a Democrat. Jones, I've looked at his record. It's terrible on crime. It's terrible on the border. It's terrible in the military. I can tell you for a fact, we do not need somebody that's going to be bad on crime, bad on borders, bad with the military, bad for the Second Amendment.
Cecilia Vega, one of the reporters asking those questions at the White House today. She's with us now. And Cecilia, President Trump was asked today if he'll go to Alabama to campaign for Roy Moore, and he didn't rule it out.
He certainly left that door open, David. He said he would get back to us on it next week. But the Roy Moore campaign certainly views the president's comments today as a boost to their campaign, and it did not take long. They have already taken his words about Doug Jones, the Democrat in this race, and turned it into a political hit on their opponent, David.
Cecilia Vega live at the White House tonight.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Wednesday, and I'll see you back here later on today with more news. Goodbye, everyone.